story. Spin. It remains a puzzle for England, doesn't it? The world's #1 Test team suffered another humiliating loss, their 4th in a row against a subcontinental team, bundled out for just 264 on day 4 of the first Test against Sri Lanka in Galle. The tourists were chasing a record 340 to win in the final innings, but they were left in the lurch, losing KP, Kevin Pietersen and Ian Bell in the first session. Well, the only bright spot for England was Jonathan Trott's return to form. He went on to score his 700 with a sweep off danger man Rangana Herath.
There it is, what a wonderful moment for Jonathan Trott.
But his resistance came to an end pretty soon after his ton, and the rest was just a formality for the Sri Lankan bowlers. Muttiah Muralitharan's wicket right after the tea break ended another sorry tale for England in the subcontinent as they lost their 4th consecutive Test. Although skipper Mahela Jayawardene did play a major role in Sri Lanka's revival in the first innings, it was the Herath show right after that. The left-arm tweaker claiming his best match figures to date of 12 for 171 and named man of the match.
Yeah, in truth, we made too many mistakes to win the game. I think in between our mistakes, we fought very hard, and there were some outstanding performances. James Anderson in the first innings with the ball, Graham Swan with the ball in the second innings, and obviously Jonathan Trott's innings in the 4th innings was outstanding. But yeah, we left ourselves with too much to do, mainly through our batting in the first innings, and we're obviously frustrated and disappointed by that.
A momentous occasion for Sri Lanka, and why not? Their first home victory since spin legend Muttiah Muralitharan had retired. For England's John Trott, well, a lonely battle. His patient 112 in 5.5 hours did, though.
A great Test match with regards to the way the sort of momentum was shifting. I think we started really well on the first day, and would have been really happy in the first session. But getting back to they're taking the new ball as well, which seemed to come on and really helped us. 10 overs after lunch. Really disappointed that we couldn't go on, Matt and I. Unfortunately, he got out in quite a weird way, but that happens in cricket.
First experience of Test cricket here in Sri Lanka. How are you coping with the conditions?
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of work on fitness in the warm-up games, so that when we get into the match situation, you're under pressure, it doesn't seem that tricky or that difficult. We've had 2 warm-up games that were obviously in the same conditions, and the guys adjusted really well. It's always good to come into the game having spent some time in the warm-up games in the middle, which I did in Colombo.
If England lose the second Test in Colombo, they'll also lose their #1 Test status to South Africa. England are still a long way from their record of most consecutive Test losses. That stands at 8. That drubbing came in the 1920s against Australia. The Poms' most recent losing streak of 7 Tests came against Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka and the Aussies in 1993.
Second innings, Jonathan Trott gives everyone a lesson in how to play over here. Patience, knock it around, pick up your 1s and 2s, rotate the strike, keep the board turning over. You can question the field placings of Mahela Jayawardene, but he still took advantage of it. Other players didn't. And yes, it is a shame because the no ball cost us 50 runs at the end of the Sri Lankan second innings. It's a catalogue of errors. And I think England will sit there and think, what are we doing? We should have won this game.
Strauss made a cardinal error, in my opinion, giving up 50-over cricket. It's only less than 12 months ago, he was out batting Sachin Tendulkar in the World Cup in Bengaluru. He decided, because he was henpecked at home, to give up the one-day game and spend more time with his family. Utter nonsense. His job is a professional cricketer. He gets paid £500,000 a year for doing that job. So get out there and do it.
I find it a little bit odd, to be honest. It's 4 games. England, he has been an outstanding leader. He has scored runs. He needs a little bit of a buffer. For me, if he doesn't score runs in the next game and England lose, for me, he's still England's captain come the West Indies series. I can't see England being at a better position going into a crucial summer, as in the summer coming up, without Andrew Strauss as captain. I really can't.